Talk to us, Blair, about like selecting the right tooling to bring all of this to life, like figuring out the right channels to use, how many touch points should we be using, thinking about loyalty, bringing people back. Like you noted this importance of the right data and the right automation platform paired with the strategy. Talk to us about like that criteria for evaluating Martech or even the AI solutions for Foxwoods. Like, how do you ensure new tools are actually complementing your business rather than overcomplicating things? Talk to us about that.
And it's that the point of overcomplicating is one of my biggest concerns
Yeah.
because, with the advance of Martech, and how it supports our business comes, I feel like sometimes my brain's spinning like, we can do this, so we can do that, we can do this. But one, is that going to support our goal, even though we can do it? And can we do it well? I mean, not just because we're able to do it with a new tool doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing to do at the time. But I think, having a more centralized, way to do that. So in the past, we've executed different campaigns out of different systems, and the data flow back into those is also separate. So we do manage, or we do view, email open rates and click rates and responses based on those, and we do the same separately with SMS and push as well. But I don't think that's the best way to evaluate, the success of it because there are different systems and frankly, they have different metrics. And I just read the other day where now social media is overtaking some of those other channels as one of the most popular ways to um, deliver message to guests. So it's consolidating the data from different sources into one, to ensure that you are getting the most effective communication. Because when you do that separately, it could look effective, but it doesn't necessarily mean down to the guest level that is the most effective view, because uh, one works. And honestly, there's different expectations, through different mediums as well.
Yeah, definitely agree. So there was like this big switch that happened within your company recently on the Martech side, right? Like we know that Fox was recently made a major strategy shift in the messaging, and you chose MoEngage as the partner to be that customer engagement platform side of things for the company. Can you walk us through that decision? Daryl and I have been part of a lot of migrations and implementations. Maybe chat about like the decision itself, but like how did this support this like omni-channel strategy that we've kind of been chatting about?
Yeah, I will tell you, it was not an easy decision. It's something that I think, is one of our biggest opportunities, from all the customization that we've just talked about. But also, I have a small but mighty, database team that it is their job to work in this platform every day,
Hmm.
all day. And if we were to introduce something, and the other part is we have an IT team with all kinds of different systems in house. So whether it's our gaming system that captures all our gaming data, our hotel system, our food and beverage system. I mean, we have so much data that we can aggregate. That we needed a partner that could, one, ingest all that, and put it into a form to where we can make sense from what our team can execute on, right? Because if we have all this data, and we can't execute on it, then it's going to be, certainly counterproductive to state the obvious. So, going through the process, it was a typical RFP process. We came from a place where we were running, depending on what the output was, we were running in different systems, which means you have different, data evaluation. And I'm a big believer that, and we have to progress. And uh, it's a little nerve-wracking because, not only do we have to migrate over to a new platform, onboard our data, but we also have to run this giant business, every day. That can be a challenge because, it's a significant, significant change. But it's not something that marketing us can control. It's, we have to get our IT team engaged, and they've been fantastic and what is the best way to organize and get the data into the MoEngage platform. MoEngage has been tireless in learning to understand our data structure and our operations to be able to understand how they can support us in our output. So we're just in the infancy of this, still in the onboarding phase because, I think the other thing is you got to have realistic expectations. I myself, I think we can think that something is going to happen in 3 months, and the reality is when you're talking about the complex data that you have, not just in ours but many. I mean, I'm just trying to my best to take a very patient approach. With the reality and is that we do have a small team. We do have multiple departments involved, including a new vendor that's learning our business model, and I'm very bullish on the long game. I'm less concerned about this specific campaign is up and running on in this way. And 3 to 4 months into this onboarding process. So, going through it, MoEngage, they were very, one, they have a great platform. They have a great, customer base of dynamic offers and having all that data in one place and executing all that out of one platform. And that's kind of the first step. And then, we said, what if we need this? And they said, if we don't have this today, we will work with you to make that happen in the future. And that's how we onboarded with them. And, it's a process, but
Yeah.
I'm excited about the long-term partnership.
I love
Very
that. Yeah.
cool.
It's like a, getting everybody on a big, cruise liner, aligned. You know what I mean? But like once you have everything set and ready to go, you can go for a long time and fast. So it's definitely like that. Did you what I'm curious, what was like the impetus of the, like did you have a lot of pain points prior to choosing MoEngage? Like what kind of things do you feel that you were like falling behind on? Was there anything
Sure.
in particular?
Yeah, I mean, I would say some pain points. It was a combination of some pain points and not being able to see the end game where we were currently at. Like our team became proficient in executing in the multiple platforms that we had. Um, but what that it takes a lot of work to do that. It takes a lot of from our data team to our brand team with the creative aspect of it to the proofing of that. It takes a lot of time to execute,
Yeah.
and I'd never take that for granted because I've been in this industry a long time, and I many years ago, I did database, but and to me to take all that in, but also to look at the future in that to be able to progress, we have to cut down on that time it takes to execute, right? So we, my, what I talk with my team about is, we only have so much time in the day. And the more time we talk about strategy, I think the better off we can be. But the reality is we have to run this business, on a daily basis, which also takes a lot of time. So any ways that we can find efficiencies
Yeah.
for our team on the execution standpoint, and that was kind of the to get to where we need to be is making this more efficient and more effective for our team to free up time to be able to focus more on strategy and how do we accomplish our goals. And it's certainly not an easy thing, but I see us getting there, and I see this kind of automation and putting campaigns and these journeys that guests go on. When we get to a point where these are stood up, then I see that kind of next phase is one, how do we get more granular with our data, more strategic with our data? That's the next step, and that's where we have to be. I
Yeah.
just think that's becoming more of an expectation.